Hey there, welcome back to the Mariana Dalto Show, the podcast where entrepreneurs and small business owners who are ready to grow with clarity, confidence, and strategy show up to start listening, to start growing, and to start learning new things. In today's topics, in my episode, I'm gonna be exploring and talking about the most powerful mindset tools you'll ever learn. Because once you understand it, you will never look at your habits the same way you've been looking at today. We're going to talk about sabotage patterns. Now, for those that are not familiar with with this term, sabotage patterns are a subconscious behavior or a mindset that works against what we say we want. So you might be, setting big goals, dreaming of big success, but somewhere underneath the surface, something in your system is keeping you safe by holding you back. So these patterns are usually not logical. They're very emotional, and they're shaped by fear, by old beliefs, and by loyalty to what's familiar to us, right? So even if familiar isn't working anymore, it's still showing up that way. So here's the kicker with this. We often don't even realize we're doing it. So of course we don't do that on purpose. But that's where we need to identify what's happening to us and what we can do and how can we identify how to do that better. So that is why identifying sabotage patterns is so important. It brings the unconscious into the light. And so we can finally take conscious control of our growth, of our thinking, of the way we're acting, the way we're doing things in our lives and in our businesses. So in today's episode, I am going to share with you the top 5 sabotage patterns I see business owners fall into, and more importantly, how to spot them and what to do to shift out of them, because that's the big thing. Sometimes you might notice, and I notice those too in my own business, the way I act. And then as soon as I realize it, then I start shifting those, right? So this is normal. We're all human. It's good to be aware that this exists and then a way of think differently on how you can approach it. So let's dive in. So sabotage pattern number 1 is what I call the impossibly big goal problem. And it sounds like this. I want to scale to 7-figure this year. Or you could say, I will launch the course after I finish building the full website. Maybe get the perfect logo and then shoot the 10-part video series. Here's the thing. Big goals are exciting, but when they are not broken down into achievable steps, they become paralyzing. So we do need big goals. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. You should have big goals that will drive your business and have a strategy to achieve those goals. But you gotta break it down in small pieces in order to accomplish that big goal. Otherwise, you get paralyzed by everything that you need to get done in order to achieve that big goal. So your brain interprets the mountain as a threat, and that's the mountain is the big goal, right? So instead of taking action, you will freeze, and that's what we business owners tend to do, or even in everything, not even in business in general. Or we tend to procrastinate because it's a big goal, we don't know how to do it, we don't know, and then nothing happens. So this is why we need to rechunk the big goal. Instead of making $1 million, what's the very next step? If the making $1 million is your goal, that's great. But what is a smaller goal and what's the next step to achieve that small goal? So it is, getting 10 people, maybe to book a strategy goal. Is that the first small goal that you can do in order to start making, you know, getting the clients and start making sales and making the revenue? Is it maybe outlining one module of your course that you're trying to build for your business, for whatever offer you're putting together, for whatever training that you're building for your business? It's one training at a time, one module at a time, one call at a time that will make you keep taking action and keep moving forward. So success comes from momentum, not perfection. So as long as you are able to jump those goals and you are able to start taking steps, small steps, that's gonna give you momentum and then you're gonna continue implementing those goals. So ask yourself, what's the next bite-size action I can take today that can drive to my bigger goal, right? That is how you shift from pressure to progress. And then you stop procrastinating and you start taking action. Now let's go into sabotage pattern number 2, ignoring the long-term consequences. Let's say you are hustling hard, you are skipping sleep, you are skipping meals, you're telling yourself, it is just for now. But here's the truth. The way you do business today is building your future. Are you building a burnout trap or are you building a sustainable business? One way to break this pattern is to step into your future self. Imagine it's 3 years from now and you have kept up the same pace and pattern. What does your health look like? What does your relationships look like? What's your energy? How's your energy 3 years from now if you keep doing what you're doing with this pattern? Now flip the script. Imagine if you started protecting your energy today. What would the future look like? The small choices we make now have massive ripple effects. If you want to be a CEO, think and act like one now. Don't wait until you think that you'll be there. Act now like a CEO, and then that's going to take you to the next level. Now let's go and talk about sabotage pattern number 3. This one is the one that sneaks in often, especially when things get tough. It is the belief that someone else is responsible for our success or lack of it. And that sounds like my kids every day. It's like always blaming the mom, blaming everyone for it. So you heard this before in your business, right? We're going to talk about business, but it's like, if my team were better, I would be further along. If my partner supported me more, I would be successful. Or I can't move forward because I am waiting on X, Y, and Z. Now, yes, support matters. We want people to support us, to help us. But when we put our results in someone else's hands, we give away our power, right? So here's a reframe, how you can think this differently. What can I control? Where am I giving my power away? Your progress is your responsibility. And that's not a blame, that's empowerment. When you shift from blame to ownership, everything changes. It's a mindset shift. It's a different way of looking how you are acting, how you are seeing your situation in the moment, and then how you can shift it and look at it differently. Okay, the next one is a sneaky one too. Sabotaging what we want to keep wanting it. This happens. I see that a lot in my business. You want to grow your email list, let's say, but you never hit send. Or you want more sales, but you avoid following up calls. You don't do follow-up calls with your leads. Or you want visibility, but you never post content. Or you want to grow, you want to, learn a new skill or hire someone to help you with something, but then you decide not to do it. That sounds familiar to you? There's a part of us that it's more comfortable chasing the dream than living it. Because success means change, means new expectations, more visibility, potential judgment. So we stay in the loop. We try a little, then we stop, then we stay stuck, and then we repeat. So the key question to ask yourself is, does this pattern serve me? Does this make sense to me? Once you recognize that the fear of having it is stronger than the desire to achieving that goal, whatever you're trying to do, that task, you can begin to rewire the pattern. So again, start small. Prove to yourself it is safe to succeed. You can do it. Try small, but take action. Okay? And now I'm going to go to pattern number 5, which is staying stuck in confusion and overwhelm. This one is super common too. This sounds like this. There are too many platforms. I don't even know where to start. Or there's so much going on. I'm not sure what to do first. Overwhelm is the perfect way to not take action, literally. It keeps you busy, but not productive. Here's how a coach, me as a coach, I help clients with this. I tell them, pick one thing, one tool, one task, one platform, and go deep in one thing. If AI, let's say, overwhelms you, start with ChatGPT. If marketing confuses you because there's so much that you can do within marketing, then focus just on your email list first. That's it. That's the only thing that you need to focus on. Progress happens when you narrow your focus, and focus is so important in order to grow, in order to keep taking action, in order to keep moving forward. So ask yourself, what's the next step I can take? And not the next 20 steps, the next first step that I can take. And then you do this, and then what's the next step after the first step that you can take? So there you have it, the 5 sabotage patterns that quietly hold business owners back. I will summarize them again so you can revise them and go through that and identify which ones maybe you're facing today in your business the most. So the first one was impossibly large goals that paralyze you. Number 2 was ignoring long-term consequences. Number 3 was making others responsible for your success. Number 4 is sabotaging success to keep chasing it. And then number 5, staying in confusion and overwhelm. All right. The good news is once you stop the pattern, you can break it. Awareness is the first step. And that's why I decided to do the show today, because people don't realize that what is happening, when they're running their businesses. And if you, at least you hear this show and you realize, oh my gosh, yes, I do that all the time, then now now you're aware, and now you can start working through how to change that pattern, okay? So you recognize that. And then once you know that, recognize the pattern in your business, send me a DM or on Instagram, or reply to this episode post on the podcast. You can go to my website and send me a message. I would like to hear from you. What are the patterns that you are facing today and you are getting stuck and not being able to shift them? And if you found this episode helpful, don't forget to subscribe, rate the show, and share it with a fellow entrepreneur or small business owner who might need this message today. Until next time, keep showing up, keep growing, and remember, your business is a reflection of the patterns you choose to break. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.